AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people just like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. Now, before I introduce today's guest, I just want to say that today is Tuesday, September 1st, and 43 years ago today, I became vegan. So today is my vegan anniversary. So instead of getting me a present, what I'm going to request is if you're not yet vegan, just for the 30 days of September, and this includes my guest, I am requesting you do an experiment and just try a plant-based diet for 30 days and see if you feel better, if you look better. And, October 1st, you can always go back doing it. So if you'd like to help me celebrate my 43rd vegan anniversary, which is today, think about doing it. And for those of you that are already vegan, I just want to thank you so much for caring so much about your health, the health of the planet and the animals. And it's very much appreciated. So the first Tuesday of every month, we do a little special feature on Chef AJ Live known as Tuesday with Thomas, because we do it on Tuesday and his name is Thomas. If you don't know Thomas Allen and his wonderful wife, Ethel, they are the owners of California Balsamic Vinegar in Ukiah, California, that makes delicious quality balsamic vinegars that originally they come from Modena, but then they flavor them with fresh herbs and things like that to make outstanding flavors. And if you follow me, you know that I love their product because they create a lot of savory flavors. Well, on Tuesday with Thomas, Thomas features each month one of the flavors of his vinegars and does recipes, healthy, delicious vegan recipes from recipes that were submitted by you, the viewers, and he'll tell you how to do that. And today he's featuring one of my very, very favorite ones, which is the smoked hickory. And with this vinegar, you can make barbecue sauce really easily without all the bad stuff in it, like the salt and the sugar and the oil. And that's what's so great about California Balsamics is they are SOS free, no sugar, no oil, and no salt. Without further ado, allow me to introduce the chef du jour, Thomas Allen. How you doing, Thomas?
Good afternoon, Chef. It's always a pleasure to be with you. We're having the time of our middle-aged lives here in Ukiah, California. All is well here, except those damn fires. They're still blowing smoke all over here, and it's just, every afternoon is a little bit dark with all the smoke that's going on. Right now it's supposed to be clear, blue, sunny skies, and you can't even tell that there's sun out there because there's so much smoke. I think the fires are 25 or 30 miles away, so they're truly not in our backyard, thank goodness. But they're close enough to really cause a lot of trouble, especially anybody with respiratory problems. So that's sad, but it's for this part of the world, it happens every year. For those of you who don't know, Central California, it's still a 6-hour drive to go to the Oregon border from our place, but we don't get any rain most of May, all of June, all of July, August, September, October, we get no rain whatsoever. So that's why when it's 100 degrees most every day and all the forests around us, it's dangerous around here when a fire starts because they can just blow like crazy, and it's truly scary. But we're here to chat about some fun recipes, and today with the smoked hickory, we're doing a throwback. Chef, one of the first times we ever went to your house in Indio was on March the 28th of last year when Ethel and I were on our way to Tempe, Arizona to do a festival for the weekend. We stopped by your place and I videoed you making a jackfruit dish with our smoked hickory, and people still talk about it today. So thank you for doing that. And we've recreated that recipe. Now, this recipe is on our website, but it's actually just Chef AJ. It's your video that we put on there. We're going to recreate the recipe right now, but you'll be able to see the recipe on your video that's on our website right now. So thank you, Chef, for doing that all that time ago. So starting off, we've got the dish starts off with a whole onion chopped up nicely, and then a clove of garlic. And I know that you really enjoy your chop and press that you get from our friends at Tupperware. And we chopped up the garlic. We put all that into a saucepan and sauteed it. And then we put a container of the jackfruit. And I don't know if you use this one, Chef. Chef, which brand of jackfruit do you use? Is it this one?
Yes, I use exactly that one that comes in the box, and it comes in two different, it comes either shredded or pieces.
And this one is the unseasoned shredded, and that's what we used. So the box of that into the pan with the onions and garlic. So that's nice and easy. And then you cooked up some nice brown rice. You're a fan of white rice, aren't you? And Charles did the brown. Charles likes brown rice.
It's really weird, but he I mean, it's not that he won't eat white, but he really prefers the brown. So what I'll do is I'll sneak a little, when I do it in the rice cooker, I'll mix them and actually do, like, I love mixing grains. Like I'll do, when I say cup, I mean the cup that comes with the rice cooker. It's not a actual cup. It's 3/4 of a cup. It'll do 1 jasmine white, 1 basmati brown, and 1 wild rice. And then the white, it makes it look almost white. And he does, so it's very good.
Yeah, so that works out beautifully. Sometimes up the night, we found a company that had in the bag was a combination of both white rice and brown rice. And so that's what we made, a little combination, because, we're from the Bay Area and we go both ways.
Well, all rice is good. Red rice. Before you keep going, I just don't want to miss some of the questions here, okay, that are coming for you. So from Susan, she says, can I use his vinegars while cooking veggies, etc., in the pan on the stove, or is it bad for the vinegar to be cooking with it?
You can use it in the pan, but don't use it at the beginning or even in the middle. Use it at the end. Balsamic vinegar is sweet, and because of that, it will burn at a higher temperature. But it will caramelize as well if you cook it very hot but very quickly. A lot of folks like to brush balsamic. I do sweet heat balsamic on kebabs on the grill, and it caramelizes because of the high heat, but it will burn. So you have to be a little bit careful about that. So so that's the story about cooking with balsamic. Just a nice a little finishing sauce in the pan to give it extra flavor. But personally, I generally use the balsamic on my plate as a complete, at the very end, finishing sauce. That's how I've always used it. You use less, it's an expensive product, so I want you to use just enough to really taste it, but not too much.
Well, and I'll say that I enjoy cooking asparagus in the frying pan, and I will put on some classic or lemon and let it just towards the end, probably the last quarter of cooking my vegetables in the pan. And then it gets nice and brown and Thomas will eat them.
The asparagus with classic that have been in the pan like that are so delicious. And she's just going out in the garden and grabbing a tomato, slicing up, and classic balsamic right on those. But that's another story.
So Nancy says, hi, Thomas and Ethel. Love your enthusiasm when I call. I love your vinegars. Melissa says, I love California Balsamic. I've tried 15 flavors so far. Lori Herman says, all in capitals. Love you, Thomas. Thank you. So got a lot of fans on. Melissa just ordered the 7 herb Italian and sweet heat, is enjoying both. And Stephanie says, got her new vinegars in the mail a few days ago. She's thrilled. What are your suggestions for best storage, refrigerate or not? I've never refrigerated vinegar.
I agree. There's generally no reason to refrigerate the flavors unless you just want a nice cool balsamic on a hot summer day. That's fine. No problem with that. But you don't have to refrigerate them. We don't ever refrigerate our products. We have our little Lazy Susan on our table over here, and we just have our 3-ounce bottles right on our table. They're always there, and our refill bottles are in the cabinet over here. So we've never refrigerated our products, but if you want to, you can. It doesn't help them. It doesn't hurt them. So up to you.
So let's see, I want to just say Brittany Giroudi, who does wonderful videos. She has a YouTube channel. She was a guest. She says she got the 7 herb Italian and she's obsessed. So maybe she'll make some recipes on her channel because she makes amazing recipes. And I want to know, I tell everybody, I posted the link to the jackfruit that we're using. I usually buy it online. They often have it at Sprouts, but I haven't seen it anywhere else. And Kathy says, thank you for introducing us to California Balsamic. She had the opportunity to meet you, and it was a great pleasure. And she purchased 20 bottles of flavors. That's amazing. Whoa. And Diane and other people love your ice cream scoops. And Jill says, is there a Greek balsamic in the future? I can kind of see you doing that, kind of like the 7 herb Italian, but with mixed spices that are more like, like Greek salad. I bet that would be delicious. Oh, and I got to thank Susan Johnston is not only the one that gave me this beautiful purple bell, but she just made a super chat donation. So thank you so much. And the brand of jackfruit is, I'm sorry.
Jeff, you've been doing the bell there for quite a while, and I don't know about the donations. Tell me what that is.
Well, so I didn't necessarily want to do this, but here's the thing. Whatever you do in life, 50% of the people are going to like and 50% not.
Sure.
So people are saying, can I contribute to you? Can I contribute to you? Because I didn't do this show like for that reason. But apparently there's this thing called super chat, and there's this little button. If people want to give an amount, a donation, they can, watching on YouTube. And so the idea for the bell is to acknowledge the people that did it. And it often, what it does is when they do the donation, it makes their name like really big and bright, because I often miss things in the chat because it does go so quickly. So especially if a doctor's on, then I really see it and then we bump their question. But that doesn't mean you have to do a super chat to get your question answered. As a matter of fact, the best way to get your question answered is just send it into the mailing list. So anyway, so I get a lot of comments. People either like the bell or they hate the bell. So anyway, yes,
that was a good thing. The bell is a wonderful thing. We always love doing that kind of thing. So good acknowledgement. Thank you.
Anyway, so
back to the jackfruit. So what we did, we had our plate of rice here, of our combo white and brown rice, and the broccoli on the side. And then after the jackfruit and garlic and onions were all done, we just popped a little bit of that right on top. Thank you very much. And we finished the dish with the smoked hickory, again, finishing sauce. Always is lovely. And I know you're a big fan of the lemon. And so we have brought out a little bit of the lemon just to put over the broccoli and finish that one. So we'll have that one. We're going to take a picture of this dish right after the show here and put that on our website. So this is the dish that'll be for this particular one, for the recipe, because that's always a lot of fun to do that. So that's our first one. Now, number two is from our friend Rita, who's back in Ohio. She's given us, I think 15 or 20 recipes, and she's coming out with recipes every week. She's babysitting grandkids most days, her grandchildren, and she's got our flavors, and she's coming up with, she sends us 2 or 3 recipes a week because she's got some time while the kids are napping. And she's come up with another wonderful recipe. And this is called a smoked hickory bean dish. And so what she did, she took half a cup of water, popped it into a saucepan, and then chopped up a full onion, and then chopped up a yellow pepper. Now, the first time we did it, we used a red pepper because that's all we had. We put that into the dish, and you couldn't see the peppers at all. So we went out and got a yellow pepper because that worked all out better. You cook that all up in the saucepan to start off, for the pepper and the onions, easy. Now for the beans. She has 2 15-ounce cans of organic pinto beans, and they're drained. And then 1 can of organic tomato sauce, 2 to 3 tablespoons of our smoked hickory. It's up to you on how much you want to use. And then she did 3 tablespoons of organic stone ground mustard. Now we didn't have that, so we just used regular mustard for this one. And then a teaspoon of cumin. And once it's put all that into the pot and warm it up, simmer it until it's thickened. And ladies and gentlemen, we just finished making this one here. And you can see how the yellow peppers really bring that out much, much nicer. There are red peppers in here. You just can't see them. But that's this particular dish. We're taking this to the warehouse for all the employees who should be working right now and watching me. But we'll be taking this to work and sharing it with everybody. So that's fun and easy. That's a wonderful dish. And Rita, thank you so much for all your wonderful recipes. They're all on our website, on the recipe page. But these 4 recipes are on the front page for the next couple of days. But then we'll transfer them to the recipe page. So, any other questions for the moment?
Peter has a question about how long do you cook the jackfruit, but I don't think you have to cook it. I think it's already cooked. It's just you're wanting to heat it up.
Correct. So that's easy squeezy. Now, we always like to do a few minutes of background. And last time we chatted about how in high school and college, I was in singing groups all over the place, traveling all over the world with choral groups, which is something that I've always loved to do. Unfortunately now, can't do much of that. But the story continues. Besides the singing, the one thing that I always dreamed of doing was being a professional bowler. I've loved bowling from 7 or 8 years old when I started, and I got pretty good early. I was teaching bowling in junior high school to elementary kids on a Saturday morning at the bowling alley. And over time, when I got into high school, you could go to tournaments. I grew up in the suburbs of Detroit, and the state of Michigan has a bowling tournament for high school, junior high and high school kids. And when your averages were between 155 and 169, that's Class B. And in 10th grade, I won the Class B championship. And then 2 years later, my average was in the low 170s, and I was in Class A, and I won the Class A championship. So I thought I was hot stuff in the bowling, and I thought that I had dreams of being a professional bowler. Well, by the time I got out to Western Michigan University to join the bowling team there, which I did, I competed against bowlers from all the other colleges, and I found out I was not good at all compared to the other fellas who were averaging in the low 200s to 205, 208. And I was only in the 192 or 193. So I realized that I was really nothing special. And my dreams of bowling kind of went up in smoke when I realized I was not good enough to do that. But even still, I realized that bowling is happening all over the world. And when I lived in Japan, bowling alleys, surprisingly, because there's so little space, were in high-rise buildings. And you look on the what businesses were on each floor, and here on the 16th, 17th, and 18th floor of a super high-rise building were bowling alleys. And you just went up to that floor, got off, and bang, you're in a bowling alley on the 16th, 17th, or 18th floor. So I got a big giggle out of all of that. And now that I'm bowling here in this part of the world, my average is in the 202, in the low 200s. It's been as high as 219 for a whole season. I was so close to 220. And people often ask me out there, well, what's your highest score? And back in March of 2014, on March the 4th, I hit an actual perfect game. And this is one of the pins that was in the bowling lanes, the pins that I knocked down. This was one of them. And so I got a big kick out of that, that was always my goal, to hit a perfect game. And it only took 45 years. So that's our story for this time, to be continued in the future. So
Somebody has a question. Did you mash the beans?
Did I mash the beans? No, we did not. We just put them in the saucepan and let them simmer away. So no mashing was necessary for that one. So, all righty, here. So Ethel, you pop over and grab the friendly potatoes. Chef, for the next one, we're doing your ketchup recipe that you've talked about many times for dipping, air fried potatoes. We had a couple potatoes that we had from over the weekend. We cooked them, popped them in the refrigerator, and then sliced them into reasonably nice chunks, and then popped them into the air fryer. And these were the fries that we just finished cooking these a few minutes ago. This, shockingly, is my darling bride, Ethel. Now, for the dip in ketchup, all I did was took a can of tomato paste, a 6-ounce can. I did 3 tablespoons of our smoked hickory. For a twist, we took a half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, which we got from our friend Nick at the local spicery. And then we did, because we used the onion granules in our ruby red onion balsamic, I used some of those same onion granules and I put them into, did a half a teaspoon of that onion granules. You could use powder if you have that. Put that into the sauce as well. And it just looks like just your basic ketchup right here. But of course it's SOS free and that's such an easy way for nice dipping. So that's something that you've told me about for the last couple of years. And here's our little twist to it. So that's an easy one. We like that. And of course, you're going to see all those fun recipes on our website. And that's easy one. So, and finally, our fourth recipe. It's from a nice customer, Jennifer Kellogg. Jennifer, thank you so much for this recipe. We're taking all of this back to our warehouse to share with everybody, especially yours. It's a barbecue Portobello Grits, which is a little twist to that. So we're going to get a kick out of that. Chef, if you have any questions, shout out. And that's easy as can be. Now, it starts off with the in a saucepan. She said to start off with 1/2 cup of barbecue sauce. Now, you can do, she uses Well Your World barbecue sauce from our friends at Well Your World. But you can make a homemade barbecue sauce if you want. And we did a nice little twist. We took a can of tomato paste, 2 tablespoons of water, 2 teaspoons of dried mustard, and 2 tablespoons of the water from dates from that have been soaking, because it's really, you know how sweet the water is from that. And we put that together to make our own version of a barbecue sauce. And that was our homemade one. In the saucepan, we had the 1/2 cup of barbecue sauce, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of liquid smoke, and then 1 teaspoon of our smoked hickory balsamic. And then she used a teaspoon of the Worcestershire sauce. And this was an organic Wizards Worcestershire. It's gluten-free and vegan. I'm not sure if there's a little bit of sodium in this one, but it's very, very low sodium. So we used that one. And then we used some broccoli, 6 ounces of broccoli. And then we used 2 portobello mushrooms. Now, the store we went to the other day, the portobellos looked really old, and I wasn't impressed with them. So we took about 10 or 11 cremini mushrooms, which are just simply baby portobellos. And we just chopped those up and used those. And so we thought that was no problem. So all of that is in the pan, in a saucepan, simmered away. The barbecue sauce, liquid smoke, balsamic, Worcestershire, and the portobellos. All those are cooked into the saucepan. Now for the polenta. She did 1/2 cup of corn. Now she used pepper and garlic powder to taste, 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast, 1/4 cup of soy milk, but Ethel has almond milk here, so we use that. And then 1/2 cup of dried polenta. And then to prepare the polenta, in a saucepan, we brought 1 cup of water to a boil, and then turned the heat off. Then you whisk in the polenta, stirring pretty vigorously. You don't want any clumping. Once it's thickened up, stir in some of the almond milk or soy milk, and then stirred in the nutritional yeast, the pepper, and the garlic powder as much as you like. And then we popped in the corn, and that was all in the pan. Now, she covered that up and set that aside, and so that was ready to go. Now, when the polenta, she did the polenta first, and then she cooked up all the barbecue, the liquid smoke and the hickory and all that in the pan. When it was all done, this was a dish for 2 people. So she divided the polenta into 2 bowls, and here's so this is one of the bowls that we had on here. And then in it are the mushrooms, and then the broccoli that was all done. And And of course, you can finish that with a little bit more.
Or the barbecue sauce.
Oh, barbecue sauce, all right? And then this is the barbecue sauce that she had done out there. And that is just gonna easily drizzle
Maybe.
right over the whole thing. And that is just a very simple dish that is really nice. I mean, I've had, Chef, have you ever had grits in your life?
Yes, I have when I've been out, when I've been in Atlanta.
Yep. When I traveled with people, we traveled through Georgia, and in a little town of Valdosta, I stayed with a family there, and they had grits for breakfast. And I said, "Ooh, these are different."
They're very good. So a lot of people are asking about the recipes. Do you post them anywhere for them to print?
They're on the front page of our website right this minute.
That is-
Patrick at the warehouse put them on this morning. So all 4 of these recipes are on the website right now.
Terrific. And how do people submit a recipe to you so they can be featured next month on Tuesday with Thomas?
Wonderful question. So every month we have a new flavor. Next month will be Pear Balsamic. So a wonderful fruity one, wonderful for summer months. We're going to have the recipes will be shipped. Please email them to recipes@californiabalsamic.com. Now, if you send them to orders at California Balsamic, we'll still see them, but we prefer that you send them to recipes@californiabalsamic.com. Now, Jennifer Kellogg, we're sending her 2 8-ounce bottles of her choice to her as a thank you gift. Chef, you have a recipe here. I'll send you 2 8-ounce bottles as well. You just have to send me an email, tell me what you want, and all is good. The Pear Balsamic is such an easy one to do. That's one of our favorites to put on, especially fresh fruit, and to put in the soda water and whatnot. But please send us some recipes, and we'll be sending the people who we use on the broadcast, we'll be sending them 2 8-ounce bottles of their choice. So that's a wonderful little incentive. And we've got so many recipes that have been donated over the last couple of months, and more are coming in. Right now, I think we have 15 or 20 recipes on the website. Patrick has 15 more to put on the website. And I would say that in the course of by Christmas, we'll have 40 or 50.
That's amazing. Christine says, have you ever made a truffle vinegar? And Tiffany says, you need to create a special vinegar dedicated to your bowling game.
We'll think about that.
Strike me bowling. I'll have to figure out what I could do with that. But
the bottle almost looks like a bowling pin. Maybe you could just have some kind of decoration on the bottle.
This is more like a duck pin. When you go to Germany, I actually was traveling in Germany and went bowling, and it was duck pin. The pins were a little bit fatter here on the bottom and skinnier on top. The actual bowling ball was about the size of a softball, and there were no holes in the ball. You just held it like that and threw it down there. I was not good at that. So I'm not a big fan of duck bowling. But it's fun. I've been bowling my entire life. I will always enjoy doing it. Unfortunately, they closed the bowling alley in Ukiah, even though right now the bowling alley is no longer, it's out of business. So I have to drive 50 miles down to Windsor, just north of Santa Rosa, to go bowling on Tuesday nights. And that'll probably start again next year because obviously there's nothing going on this year. So I'm going through withdrawals, for my bowling, but it'll happen eventually. So that'll be good.
So Thomas, the offer is only good for United States though, right? Because you can't ship internationally right now for the contest.
Right now, Canada and we only ship the Chef AJ sampler anywhere in the world. It's $28 to ship it to Canada for shipping, and that includes taxes and duties. But you have to email me to do that because we can't do it on our website. It doesn't have international capabilities to ship out because the shipping is so high. but we will ship the Chef AJ sampler anywhere in the world. It's about $28 shipping and the price. Then you get the 5 bottles and 2 little freebies in the Chef AJ sampler shipped anywhere in the world. So that's that.
Any more questions?
Oh, you're asking me if there's more questions. Okay. Ethel wrote a comment, even though she's watching. She loves the balsamic and the bell. Thank you so much. That is great. Let's see.
That's my honey. She's so cute. Oh, funny.
Oh, we have an adult film star watching. That's good. Nice.
I'm an adult and almost a film star.
You're a Chef AJ live star, that's for sure.
Oh, it is such a kick in the pants to call customers and all of a sudden they say, "Is this really Thomas?" And I say, yeah, but it's not really a big deal. I've been calling people, to ask them about their order, what freebies they want for 20 years. So I'm not doing anything.
Just out of curiosity, what is the biggest order you've ever filled? Like, of how many bottles?
It's my darling bride who had the biggest order ever. What was it? What was the
5 cases?
Is that 5 cases? That would be over $1,000. But he was a business person, and he was using them for client gifts for all that. But a young lady just the other day, she got 30 bottles the other day of all 8-ounce bottles because she basically got one of everything. And that was extraordinary. She sent us a photograph of her collection, and I'm going to post that on our monthly newsletter that we send out. So if people want to get our once a month newsletter, they'll see that on our website. Scroll down from the front page, and you'll just see sign up for our newsletter. But remember, anytime we have a brand new website, and Chef, I am so bummed that our site went down when you did your Italian Weight Loss Wednesday with our new Italian. But I think that pretty much everybody who wanted to order was able to after the 3 days of disasterness. But when you ask for your freebies, it's now a different spot on the website. It was, right now, it's called Order Notes, and it's at the very bottom of the checkout page, just below where you put your email address in. You'll see it. It's called Order Notes, and then ask for your 2 free samples with any order. Please tell us what you want. We'd much rather put in what you want than us just guessing what you might like. So that's much better.
Tiffany says, can you share a few good flavors to use for soda water? I recommend lemon and peach as my 2 favorite for soda waters, although grapefruit and pineapple are very good too.
Now, I like to mix the pineapple and coconut to get a pina colada combination, which is most entertaining. But when you do those, I prefer the white balsamic with fruit. Any of them work, even lavender, blackberry, peach, pear, coconut, strawberry, raspberry. All of them work beautifully. But you can use cherry, pomegranate, fig, any of those work. But they're dark balsamics.
Yeah, cherry's very good, by the way. I forgot about cherry.
Yeah. And so with all those, it'll just make the water, brown instead of clear. But be sure to very gently stir up the balsamic. When you put it into a glass of soda water, it will go right to the bottom. Balsamic is much heavier than soda water. So be sure to give it a very gentle stir to blend it up, because you just don't want to have all the flavor at the bottom.
Right. Or just, I always drink with a glass straw. You just stir it as you go. Haunted Mansion says orange chocolate is so good, believe it or not, in seltzer.
Oh, no, I have not done that yet. That's a wonderful idea. So we'll have to include that. We just generally put the chocolate on a flat banana cut in half, and put that under the broiler for 5 minutes to caramelize it.
Stephanie wants to know, is the sweet heat more sweet than heat? I definitely lean towards savory and spicy. I'm worried it might be too sweet for my liking. I don't really think of sweet heat as all that sweet.
No, it's savory because it's got fresh garlic and fresh serranos and habaneros. Now, over the last several years, we've made it progressively milder. We've gone from several pounds of peppers, and we've cut that number of peppers in half over the years to make it, the more mild we make it, the more popular it is. So right now it's the mildest it's ever been, and Sweet Heat has been the most popular flavor up until Italian came along. So now it's number 2, but Sweet Heat's wonderfully mild and savory. So most people, now it's always sweet. There are 8 carbs in every tablespoon, no matter if it's dark, 7 carbs in white balsamic, 8 carbs in dark balsamic, 30 calories in the white balsamic per tablespoon, and 36 calories in the dark. So
that's interesting. It's interesting that the white has less carbs, because I think of the white as sweeter. And that's funny, because I was announcing this on Facebook today, and somebody said their daughter's a type 1 diabetic and she has to count carbs. And I said I didn't know how many carbs, but that it was about 30 calories a tablespoon.
Right. So 7 and 8 for the white and the dark, respectively.
And,
but most people think that as well.
Is the nutritional information on your website? Because I know as a small business, you are not required to put it on your label.
It is beneath when you click on click on Simply Lemon. And then when you're on Simply Lemon, click on the actual picture. And then when the whole picture comes up, scroll down at the bottom. Every nutritional information for every flavor is just below the picture of every one. And they're all the same. Every one will be exactly the same. All the white balsamics are the same. All the dark balsamics are the same.
Right.
And of course, there's no processed sugar in any of our products. It's all grape juice, the crushed grapes, and boiled way down, made in Modena, Italy.
Okay. There's a request for a caramel flavor. That would be pretty easy if you did it with dates, and a request for a cherry chocolate. And they want to know how many tablespoons in a beverage I use 1 to 2, or sometimes I use as little as a half. It just depends how much club soda you're using.
I bought an 8-ounce glass when we did it at your place during this video that you did. You did 1 tablespoon, and then you did another glass with 2 tablespoons. And I actually like 1.5, which I thought was just right. In an 8-ounce glass.
Nice.
That's pretty much it. My producer over here is saying to me, Thomas, you've got to get your butt back to work here pretty soon here. And I'm like, holy crap. What a tough producer you're. So that's for our segment this month, and next month will be pear balsamic. So please send in any pear recipes you might have to recipes@californiabalsamic.com, because you all know the secrets of the sauce, and California Balsamic
is the
sauce. Thank you, dear.
All right. Well, thank you so much. So we'll see you next month for pear. Guys, if you have ideas for pear balsamic recipes, send them to recipe. Is it recipe or recipes?
Recipes, plural.
Recipes@californiabalsamic.com. I'll put that in the show notes, and we look forward to seeing that. And I look forward to seeing you guys back in a few hours. We have a special show at 5 p.m. tonight, because the guest is from Singapore and couldn't do the regular time of 11. It is Luke Tan, and he's going to be talking about the awake method, or is it the aware method? I got to really read my own show notes, but he's amazing. He's a really wonderful athlete, and he hosts the Plant Fit Summit. So thanks again, Thomas and Ethel. And I told you that 7 herb was going to rise to the top. I knew it.
Chef, when you're right, and you're almost always right.
Tell that to my husband, Bella. So again, remember, today's my 43 years of being vegan. If I can do it for 43 years, you guys can do it for 43 days. So accept the challenge. Take care, everybody. And thanks again, Thomas and Ethel.
Thanks, Chef.
Bye.